Welcome to Beyond the Box.
Our guests are insiders that are now out and on our side, dropping nuclear intel and breaking it down just for you.
And now it's time to introduce our hosts, Brenda Lankridge and Suzanne Haunt. Join us and subscribe for weekly shows. Beyond the Box begins now. Let's jump in.
Well, hello again, everybody, and welcome back to Beyond the Box. So tonight, because I had a hard time with the guest and everything, this week was real bad. Got one at the last minute, but I'm going to schedule that person for a different day. So tonight what we're going to do is, I'm not sure if Tommy, Steve, and Susie are going to be here, but I have Andy and Patrick with me. And we are going to do something different. We're going to tell either a really silly story that happened to us, or also a creepy paranormal experience. And then after we do that, we're going to do an audience participation. I know a lot of you are like, well, my hair's not done. I look terrible. Well, you can turn your camera off. I'm going to put the link into the chat. And one by one, I will have you come on and tell either a funny story or a creepy paranormal story. It's kind of different. Hello, Brent, Denise, Julie, everybody. So I just thought maybe we'll just do that and have a little fun with it tonight, because I'm drawing myself from serious things because, well, it's Debbie Downer for me lately. So get out of the box. That's right, Julie. We're getting out of the box. So, all right, let me go ahead now. And Patrick, we get a different view because he's a truck driver and he's over the road, and he has got his camera turned to where we're watching him drive. And he's in Georgia right now. I don't know them people in Georgia. Sorry, they can't drive. And Steve right now is in the store. So maybe we can get a Steve show shopping, huh? Tonight. Let's see, he's talking to me. So let me go ahead and bring them out and we can get started. Andy.
Hey.
Andy's going to tell us stories tonight. And then there's Patrick. Hey, Patrick.
Hello.
Yeah, we have to be careful with Patrick. Every now and then I'm going to have to mute him, because when his truck gets too close to another truck, the thing starts going boop, 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 boop. Oh, no.
I'll try not to kill anybody tonight.
Oh, Denise. You're not supposed to be doing that. That's my job. I'm the one that falls down all the time. You're supposed to yell, I'm okay. I hope you get to feeling better, though. That's horrible. Okay. Denise can just, type in a little bit, or just lay down and relax, and we'll just keep her amused. I think that sounds like fun. But, so, Patrick, you are in Georgia, right?
Yep.
So am I, Denise. I am a klutz. I am the only one that can trip over air, and I've broke bones doing this. Oh, yeah. And there's what highway is that you're on there, Patrick?
I am on I-475,
All right.
heading northbound.
So far, so good. No problems in Georgia.
Nope,
But
just a lot of slow
I'll tell you,
driving.
I'll tell you what. If anything does happen on the roads over there, we're the first ones to see it.
That's right.
Woohoo!
We'll be heading through Atlanta for about an hour or so.
Uh-oh. Atlanta, here we come.
That's right.
Watch out, Glenn. He's coming for you.
I mean, when I mean Atlanta, we'll be going around Atlanta. We'll be going around the Beltway for Atlanta.
Yeah. Hey, I messaged Glenn and asked him if he had a show tonight. And of course, I didn't get an answer, so he's probably either sitting around drinking or something. Maybe having dinner. But before we get started, there is something that I must do always. And that is start us off with our prayer of protection, especially if we're going to be talking about anything paranormal. Because I don't want things coming to my house tonight. I've been very peaceful for the last few nights. I haven't had anybody come in here. It's been pretty cool. Yes. So, here we go. Father, I ask for you to protect all these people that are still affected by these hurricanes. And please bring them some comfort in everything that they're going through. Please keep the people strong that are out there helping them. Protect everybody on this show and protect everybody that watches that is in our chat. And we ask this in Jesus' name. All right. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with Andy. Andy, tell us either a funny story that happened to you or something weird. And don't say meeting me, Andy.
Darn, he took the words right out of my mouth.
Yeah, that's
I got a funny one I'm going to tell about Andy.
Patrick,
No, Patrick me. Go ahead with the story, Andy.
let's go ahead and go to Patrick. I want to hear what he has to say.
Oh, no.
Okay.
All right, we'll go Patrick first. Go, Patrick, go.
It was the first time I met Andy in person.
Oh, yeah, that was not good.
Oh, that was good. On my end, that was good. Well, everybody knows that
Yeah.
Andy's in a wheelchair.
Not what
so
come
he
out of
sits
your
real
end.
low. Hey, I'm trying to tell my story. Jeez. So Andy sits real low in his wheelchair. Well, it happened to be a windy day that day. We were at a fire. Andy was taking pictures, and I was there watching him taking pictures. And I had to fart.
Oh, no.
Apparently, I was upwind of Andy, and I let it rip, and it flowed down to Andy, and I think he just about passed out in his chair.
Andy, did you turn
His
green?
His face turned green, and that's how I knew Andy was going to be my best friend.
Well, I took off wheeling down the street.
There was smoke coming from his tires,
Smoke coming
and that's
from
not
his
an electric wheelchair either.
No, mine is.
Thank God the fire hose was on the side of the road.
Oh, jeez. Poor Andy's like,
Andy.
what did you eat? Whatever it was, don't ever do it again.
Right?
Well, I think the real funny part was my dad was even laughing at it.
Oh, he didn't even smell it, but he knew what had happened, and his dad was grinning from ear to ear. Couldn't stop.
You got his dad involved in that?
He just happened to be there. His dad, well, obviously his dad was driving him around, so his dad was out there as well. So, yeah.
Poor Andy.
And
Did you
then
have-
Junior, he was laughing so hard he ended up
Yeah.
falling in the lady's front yard.
Oh, God.
So,
That's awful. Yeah,
that's
you're
my
grounded.
funny, quick
Patrick.
story.
You're grounded.
Oh, that's how I test my friends. If they can survive that, then they can survive my friendship.
There you go.
You're in for a whooping now from Brenda. She's gonna punish you.
No. So
Look,
we
he's all
gotta
excited.
we gotta hear one from Andy.
No, let's see. What year was
Yep.
this?
I told mine.
96, I believe. We had a blizzard, and I decided to go wheel down my driveway and up the street a little bit because our street's on a hill. Right, Patrick?
Yep.
Well, I started going wheeling to go back down towards the house, and apparently my wheelchair doesn't go very well on ice. My chair's turned sideways. I put my brakes on and I still slid down the road.
Oh no.
Yeah, brakes aren't good on ice.
That cannot end well, Andy.
And then my 80-year-old grandfather had to come out and get me.
Oh my God. Julie says that's a bright idea in a blizzard.
Exactly.
You know, Andy, you and I mess around an awful lot about having people tweak our wheelchairs to where we can just go like from 0 to 90 miles an hour in just like seconds.
Well, I did the first time I met Patrick. It was on Super Boost.
I gotta get away. I have got to get away. Well,
It was bad.
yeah. So what I'm going to do is I am going to tell, like, I know you guys have heard me talk about different experiences, okay? And the one where I was bit in my back between my shoulder blades and scratched. So I'm going to tell you how that came about. So I had gone with some friends of mine to New Orleans. There was 4 of us. And the one thing we wanted to do was go to the graveyard. And, you know, we were just dying to go. No pun intended. So we get there and it starts getting a little dark. And they don't really run you out of the graveyards in New Orleans. So we decided that we were going to be smart and go and check out this big, like, mausoleum type thing. And so we went over there and there was nothing going on. And everybody was like, we got to stir up something. And I said, oh, I'm not sure that's a good idea. So they started talking shit and provoking. Well, when we were sitting around and our hair was getting pulled, people's clothes were getting tugged on, I had to sit there and say, no, whatever is here needs to stop and leave us alone. Well, that's when I got bit in the back. And it threw me forward and I started bleeding immediately. So after that, I said, okay, that's it. You guys, we've got to go. We have to leave from here now. You guys have pissed something off and I'm not going to be able to control it. So just as we went to walk, I told everybody to stop. Do not step foot out of this graveyard yet. So I had to sit there and tell whatever was there, you cannot follow us. You cannot leave this place. You must stay here. And then I got scratched. And I was like, yep, time to go. We're out of here. Weirdest experience, swear it was like, it didn't stop me from going to graveyards, believe it or not. But I decided that when I go, the first thing I'm going to do, you know, normally when you're dealing with spirits, you have to lay down boundaries with those spirits. But I decided that from now on, whenever I go with somebody, I've got to lay down boundaries with the people I go with, because you just can't be going there pissing off spirits because you don't know what you're going to get. And apparently the one that was saying, "Oh, this is bullshit. If there's somebody here, you might as well just come on. If not, why are you being a pussy?" Yeah, you don't do that. So I don't think that person had any experience with paranormal or spirit or anything else, because people with common sense know you can't do that. And they did it anyways. So that's my story on how I got bit. So now, Brent, I think I want to start with you. Oh, Brent, are you still there? Gotta wait and see for him to answer. Oh no, Julie. You, you fell on your ass and you bit your tongue. Okay, Brent, do you want me to send you the link and come on here and tell us either a paranormal story or something funny that happened to you? Oh, actually, let me do this.
Wow, Julie, that's got skill, doesn't it?
Yeah, takes skill. Takes all kinds of skill. Here we go. Boom. The link is in the chat. It's there, it's there, it's there. So anybody that wants to hit that link and go ahead and come on and tell us the story. Okay, Brent, come on. Get in here. But yeah. And then a little later, we're going to talk a little bit about this election thing, because this stuff is crazy. I've seen so much crazy. Everybody has. Andy's town blew up like nuts. People running around stabbing each other and shooting each other. Starting fires.
And fire.
Yep, fires.
Firebugs.
I know. What is wrong with you people? Stop it. Just stop it. I think that the world will end before anything of whatever they're reading or they're hearing happens. Because it's absolutely crazy. I'll come on after Brent. I have 3 stories. You will pick 1, 2, or 3. Okay. We get to pick 1, 2, or 3. Okay. I got you, Julie. Denise says, "I love you, Julie." It's my crew, my family. Where is Steve? He's supposed to be going shopping with us. Do you have Andy or Tommy there? Oh, he wanted to know if I had anybody here. Okay, let's see. I just told Steve that everybody wants to go shopping with him. Yep. Oh yeah, we can do all of them. That works out well, Julie. I know it sounds funny, Patrick, when I talk to the people in the chat. It's like I'm over here talking to myself. But it's okay.
Yeah, because I can't read chat. So
Yeah.
people could be cussing me out and I wouldn't know.
Yeah. We like to communicate with these people.
Oh, yeah. I understand. Yeah, because I'm doing this on my phone, so everything is real tiny.
Oh my goodness. So Nadine just gave me an update for tomorrow, but I'll tell you guys what it is. CPS is out there in North Carolina taking the children away from their parents at the hurricane shelters while the shelters are closing. That is bad.
What the heck? That's
Yeah.
just wrong.
They want our kids, and they're going to do everything they can to get them. This is what happens.
Patrick, change your truck route.
Yeah.
Where we going?
North Carolina to go pick up people and their children.
Oh,
Oh my goodness. Yeah. My friend Jeff, that's why what's going on in the area. We're hoping. That's so sad. I'm gonna tell you guys something. This world's gone nuts. It's been this way for a while. We're all kind of used to it. Nothing surprises us anymore because this is just wrong. What they're doing is absolutely wrong. I mean, oh, what are you trying to get on with, Brent? Is it a computer or your phone? Oh, he's going to go get on his computer. Okay. Yes, Denise, it is terrible. They never stop. Okay, your phone, do you have Chrome on your phone? You use Chrome? If you have Chrome on your phone, you have to take the link and copy it and post it in your search engine on Chrome to be able to come on. Is that right, Patrick?
yep. It'll give you it'll say copy when you do it, and it'll copy it. And then when you go to your Chrome browser, you just hold your finger on Chrome search bar, and it'll pop up. So
Right.
It copied it to your clipboard.
How can they take the kids away from
How's it looking up there, Greg?
no laws against this? Well, what they're trying to do is they're trying to use it as an excuse for the fact that they don't have anywhere to live, so they're trying to take these kids. And it is very sad because these people just lost everything they own. Okay? So taking their kids away from them, that's wrong. And I told Nadine what they need to do is those town people all need to get together and kick them out like they did FEMA. Because they told FEMA they didn't need their help, they could go away. So they need to do the same thing with CPS. Because that's absolutely ridiculous. And yeah, that I don't even understand what they're doing or why they're even doing it. They don't have, you're right, they don't have no reason. And it's not against the law for these people to have their parents, be with their parents. And the parents going. I'm sick. Yeah, I know. Well, right now they have some Amish people out there that are helping build like tiny homes for these people to stay in. A lot of people are pitching in to help, which is a good thing. That unity just warms my heart. But this whole thing with them trying to take the kids away from their parents, those people are going to have to step up to them, and they're going to have to just tell them no and tell them to go away. Because all these people that don't have a place to go, they are being taken care of. I mean, people are helping them. The kids are eating, they're being fed, they're getting clean clothes. It's snows. So, I mean, it is getting colder out there. Tommy has a friend out there also. and
Turn right
they're
on
working to
I-75.
try to get people to have heaters, for them. But I don't think, and I don't know why they're closing the shelters. I don't know if the government itself is making them close them or what. Hey, Brett.
I made it.
There you go. See, that works out well.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Good.
So, what do you got to tell us about?
I think I'm gonna delay here on. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. I can tell you the story what my mom told me is how'd I get this from keep repeating what I'm saying,
Let me see. Hang on one second. Is it still doing it now? Hang on one. Try it now, Brent.
Try again.
Is it still doing it?
I don't think so. Okay. I'll give it a shot. Yeah, when my mom was a teenager, she told me a story that there was a large craft that came down in their backfield. They live in a farm, about a 40-acre farm, and there's a tree line in the back behind, there was like a creek and a tree line. And there was a large UFO one evening that comes down, and she said you could see all the lights on it because it wasn't that far from the back of their house. So she described it as a cigar shaped craft. And she told me that her and her mom, I think my mom would have probably been around 15 or 16, that it hovered for quite a while. And they watched it. And my grandma told my mom, she says, go in and call the sheriff. So she went in, and the time she stepped back out, it took off. She she can describe it in better detail than what I am. And there's one other time she told me, this is more in recent years, that it was nighttime and my dad was away traveling. And me and my brother were in college, so she was living essentially by herself a lot of the time. So my dad traveled a lot. And they live in like a wooded area. And she said one evening she was out on their little side deck on the house, and there's like a trail that goes down the hill. They got like a couple small buildings, and she saw a creature. She she's never really described it in great detail to me, and she saw this thing walking. And the way she explained it is that it communicated telepathically with her, that she sensed this thing was gonna do no harm and that was leaving the area. And the only thing I can think of from what she said is something called a Wendigo. You heard of a Wendigo? Yeah. So, and my dad had told me that not long before this happened, that one of their neighbors 'Cause my folks live up kind of on a hill, and there's some other houses that one of their neighbors said he had declared that land for Christ, for Jesus Christ. He declared that hill for God, essentially. So then not long after that, when she saw this thing leaving, because that's what it conveyed to her telepathically. So that's my supernatural stories.
That was interesting. Somebody said, who was it that said it creeped him out? Oh, Norma said that creeps me out. But
Man, okay. I'm looking at my chat here. I'm like, yeah. Hey Norma,
yeah, that
Andy,
creeps
and
me out. I got Andy and Pat. I don't know where Patrick went. I know his truck
I'm here.
stopped moving. Oh, okay.
I'm doing a 30-minute break.
Oh, all right.
I'm back behind the way station.
surprised I
Well,
figured out how to get on here.
Well, thank you, Brett, for coming on and sharing that with us. We like
Yeah,
to share
sure.
stories. I don't get to really ever hear everybody else's stories. So I thought it'd be kind of neat to hear people's stories tonight and see, what they're all about. And there we got Julie. Well, Julie, hey.
Hey Julie.
Can you hear us okay, Julie?
Yes, I can hear you great.
All right.
How you doing?
Doing good. How are you?
I've been better. I'm tired.
Tired? Yeah, it's been one of those worry out type few days. Yeah. I've not had, I've had good days because I've been, doing the whole positive outlook thing for a little while now. But man, it just seems draining the last couple of days. And I don't know why.
Yeah.
So Julie, I know you have interesting stuff. I know it. You and I kind of share the same bubble of, oh, people, please.
I don't know. Or just like, did that really just happen?
Yeah. I like the, what did you just say to me? And then somebody else will walk in and say, who are you talking to? Nobody.
All the time. Am I feeling better? No.
You're not. God, yeah. You are. Come on, Julie. We love you.
We love you too. I love you. There's no we here.
For the first time in a week, there's no we here.
I've had we here.
Yeah, I've had some pretty peaceful days without, people coming in and wanting to know where to go, what to do, who am I, what am I doing, am I dead, am I alive, what happened? And I sit there and say, well, I'm not God, so I can't tell you a whole lot. But if you're in my house in the middle of the night, then odds are that yes, you've passed away and you need to move on. Because
you're very body challenged at the point now.
Yeah.
You're just consciousness. Sorry. So, which one do you want? I thought of another one. Forgot about this one.
You can tell us all of them if you would like.
Okay. Creepy story number 1. Okay. Well, it starts out creepy. Like when I was 6 years old, my great grandfather had passed away when I was 5. And when I was 6, for some reason, we went to my grandparents' house because my grandparents and my great grandparents lived together. My great grandmother was still alive, and she lived upstairs. And typically, me and my brothers would sleep all together downstairs. But this one particular night, I was to sleep upstairs in my great grandfather's old room. Well, he came to visit. I felt this big old cold hug, and I was sensitive then. It was my first experience with the other side that I can remember anyways. And totally freaked me out. Totally freaked me out. I stayed up all night, right? There's good. Oh no. So, I really don't recall telling anybody that story, like, I remembered it myself, it wasn't something I shared,
Right.
at all. I didn't share it with my children. So my great grandparents passed away. My grandparents passed away. I was put in charge of their house, and I decided to sell it. So we were remodeling this house. Upstairs, we were doing the upstairs portion, and my oldest son, he was 15 at the time, he's in that room. I never told him this story. He's in that room. He comes out. He's like looking like he's freaked out, and he's like, "Mom, there's something creepy in this room. I don't want to work in there." And I'm like, okay, because I knew what was going on.
You're related to him. It's all right.
I go ahead, just do me one favor. I'm not gonna make you like go back in there and work, okay? But can you just like show me where in this room that you're feeling that? So he takes me in the room, and it's the same freaking spot that I had felt him hug me. Okay. So that was when, he was 15. So I was like 40. So a few years later, I start working with some spiritual healers, and this great grandfather hadn't crossed over all this whole time. He's like been roaming the earth, right?
Sometimes they like to do that for a little while.
And so I'm like, well, what's the deal? Why is he still here? And they're like, they talked to him. At that point, I was not a medium. They talked to him, and he's telling them that he had another daughter before he had my grandmother, and nobody knew about her because it was taboo, because it was, different race, it was a different time, and it would have been totally taboo, and inside the wall, because they built this house, inside that wall, he had put like pictures or like a birth certificate inside the wall in the same spot that I had my experience and my son had his experience.
Wow.
So don't know if they ever got it out of the wall, because my family ended up buying the house from the estate. So anyways.
They should have got it out of the wall. Please take that out of the wall.
Get the thing out of the wall. It's like our great who it's like, the person's dead and gone now. It doesn't matter. Like my great grandfather wanted me to do the genealogy. Well, I've done the genealogy. She's been gone a long time. My grandmother passed away in 2011, so it's been a while.
Yeah,
and she was older than her. So, anyways, that's story number 1. How do you like them apples? That's pretty wild. I didn't make all those connections till now. That's a lot. Okay. Are you guys sleeping tonight?
You know,
No?
the unexpected and the paranormal does not bother me because I've done it it's been in my life for so long. I mean, I was
Yeah.
5 for crying out loud. And when you grow up with it, it's like nothing surprises me ever, ever. There are some things like the night that I seen Susie's Angel. That went straight through me. I mean, it made me cry. It's like my heart grew 10 times the amount it should have, and it was just wild. But I don't get spooked, or I sleep just well.
Right?
You
Especially
know,
when you have like conversations with people on the other side. I told my grandfather get out of that room and leave my son alone. Stop haunting him. Anyway, you're always talking this like. Anyways, next story. This one is not a spooky story. It's kind of a weird story, or one of those cool stories. I don't know. So, a few years ago, after I left my husband, I wanted to work on my bucket list. So one of the things I wanted to do was learn how to play the drums. So, and then because I went to do that, I'm like a week into my drumming lessons, and my instructor goes, "Hey, you want to join a band?" I'm like, "Yeah." I thought he was joking. He's like, "Okay, well, I'm gonna hook you up with so and so and so." I'm like, "Okay, so like in 8 weeks you're gonna go play live." I'm like, "What?" Okay. I gotta have to go with it, right?
Right. Go with the flow.
Yeah. So I ended up, joining this band, and we practiced like once a week, and then we did performances. So we did 2 performances. We did one at a big theater, and then we did one where we did our practice, right? So we had a concert. It was like an all age sort of thing, and it was really cool experience. So after the second one, my kids came and saw me during that one, and we went out for pizza. And it's downtown here where I live, and the place was packed when we got there. And by the time we got done eating, the place had cleared out, totally cleared out. Then walks this blonde chick and like this group of people. And like the whole place is like deserted. And they come and sit next to us. And my son's girlfriend's like, hey, that's Teresa Caputo. I'm like, what? I'm like, that's some blonde from the high school. She's got some attitude. She's like, no, she's got a concert here. I'm like, shut up. So we're like flipping through our phones. It's like, oh shoot, that's her. She's sat right next to us.
Oh Jesus.
Yeah, so that's my scary Teresa Caputo story. So we didn't talk to her. We're like, let's just let them be, because they're always getting hounded, right? She had three shows set up, 3 sold out shows. Okay, so I'll give you my last one's about. I had this. When I was about 20, 21 years old, I was living in South Lake Tahoe. Found this roommate. We moved in together in this apartment, and like she was gone all the time. But when she'd come home, it felt like somebody was there besides her. Yeah, she was there, but it felt like somebody else was with us all the time, like watching us. And I'm just like, what is that? All the time. I finally asked her, like, do you feel like somebody's watching us? Oh, she's like, oh, that's just my ghost. I'm like, what? What?
Her ghost follows her.
And it's her ghost, right? She's like, well, when I was like 10 years old, I went missing and they couldn't find me for like 3 days. And then they found me and I was all by myself. I was like, that's really weird, man. And ever since then, she had this ghost with her. That's what made it even weirder. Okay. So then I moved back to this area and then I go back and I move in with her. And we have like 5 other girl roommates in this house. And this house is like, it was an old brothel, red light district, South Lake Tahoe.
Oh.
So it's like, you know, bunch of girls living in this house. Anyways, cattiness. I piss her off. She still has this attachment. And the thing attacks me. I'm sleeping in my room, and this thing jumps on my back and starts beating me. And I'm like, what the? Because I pissed her off. He's protecting her.
Yeah.
I'm just like, this is so weird. I didn't go to sleep. I got up. I was so freaked out.
Like, time to move.
Oh my! I was like, yeah, I kind of pissed her off. If I pissed her ghost off, that's when you really piss somebody off. I was
when
in the room.
When you pissed her. So she was okay having that attachment.
She was, and then like later on, as adults, like you know, a couple decades later, I found her, reconnected, and she had gotten rid of it. But in the meantime, one of the first questions was like, "Hey, did you see so and so on the commercial for what is that called? Girls Gone Wild?" So one of our roommates was a girl gone wild, and the only reason we knew is because we saw her in the commercial. We were both like, "Was that her?" I didn't have anybody else to ask, and I lost contact with all these people.
They came through here one time, and I was up at one of the clubs, and I had a couple of friends of mine with me, and they had this really cool hat, which I still have. And I said, oh my gosh, I want one of those hats. And they said, well, you got to take a tour on the bus to get it. I looked at my friends and I said, hey, why don't you guys go on the bus and take a tour and bring me back a hat? So they did. And I still have that hat today. It's pink and it's shaped real weird. It's a different type of hat, but it's pretty cool. And so they went in there and got them. Those people are crazy. The ones that do the filming for Girls Gone Wild and all that, they are nuts. I thought that people from that show Jackass were crazy. Yeah, go hang out with the people that do the Girls Gone Wild bus. Forget it. They're nuts.
Yeah, you know, we had been sitting out like in an outdoor like restaurant, and we're talking about this. We're sitting with other people around a campfire sort of thing, and we were talking about this, and another person was next to us, and they're like, well, I was a girl gone wild. I'm just like, oh man. And she was proud of it. I was like, okay. I'm just like, I don't get it. Okay.
Well, that's because it's for the young party girls, you know. They that's when they get older, they actually eventually grow out of it.
No, this was a woman that was older.
Oh geez. Oh.
Yeah. And I'm just like, she wore it like a badge of honor. And I'm just like, oh, okay. But anyways.
I don't know if I think I think it's more for like recognition, um, fame recognition type thing. Because I know that some of them that do that, they get like movie offers and different stuff like that. So
Well,
I think
from what
maybe
I
that,
understand, that whole franchise got shut down.
yeah, I think it is shut down now. They were
And
getting a
he went
little too out of hand, I think.
and he went
So
to jail, and like, because
yeah,
I don't recall the whole story, but oh my god. So we always used to joke about the house that we lived in with all these girls. It was like a wayward sort of situation with all these girls living there. I got more stories about that, but you know, this is off camera stuff. So this is like the triple X version, like late night.
I've had some pretty wild roommates before when I was younger, but I am so glad that phase of my life is over. For real. Because I sit there and I think about all the stupid stuff I did when I was younger. And it's like, wow, I can't even believe I'm still alive.
Right?
I did some dumb shit. I mean, really dumb. Really dumb. And just, yeah. I had an old friend of mine messaged me the other day, and we started talking about a few things we used to do back in the day. And I said, how did we live through that? And she says, I don't know. I said, well, somebody turned around and said that we did something right or we had to do something right because, yeah, that was some crazy stuff.
You know, the whole not having a cell phone like we do today, it's like, how did we do that? I don't remember how we did stuff back then. Like I had
a pager, and if my mother paged me, I better get to the nearest payphone and call her back. Because if I did not, I would be grounded by the time I came home. So
I think you're a little bit younger than me.
Denise says she was a nut. She doesn't know how she's still alive. She was such a nut when she was younger. I was too. But you know what, though? When we were younger, we played outside. We did things that the kids nowadays could never even think about. Middle of the summertime in shorts going down one of those metal slides. Ooh, when it's hot. Burning the crap out of our legs. I don't know. I don't remember what they're called, but those big metal spinny things, having somebody on the outside running around in a circle and throws you off and you get down and
merry-go-round.
Yes, that thing. And you hurt yourself.
Outside, running around in a circle and throws you off.
Uh-oh, Brett. You are.
Yeah, I fell off one of those slides one time.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we used to go cliff diving. We used to
all the
go
way at the top.
Yeah. There you go. So, but these kids today, they don't want to leave their video games. They don't want to go outside. Yes, that's right, Denise. We rode bikes. We learned how to ride bikes, play on skateboards, roller skate, without helmets, knee pads, elbow pads, none of that. If we fell down and we broke something, oh well.
Extreme sports, man. No helmets. No freaking helmets. Like, and take on different, crazy things to do. Like, we lived in Chula Vista, which is like San Diego. And they had a lot of ice plant down there. And it was hilly. And so, bored kids are going to do stupid stuff. So we would ride down the ice plant. We don't have snow, but we got ice plant.
Denise said that they had no helmets. and no knee pads, and they were going down slopes on garbage can covers. I remember doing that. But, well, you got to be somewhere where it snows to have any fun doing that. But still, yeah, they just don't. These kids do not know how to have fun. I mean, we
Right?
could probably get out there and start doing some of this stuff that we used to do when we were younger with them. We'd have to do it a lot slower, but they would still, I don't think they could keep up with us, tell you the truth.
No.
I don't.
No.
I don't think that there is, I don't think they got a snowball chance. It's like, you know, I was 50 and I was sitting there partying with a bunch of 21-year-olds, and I would have to pour them in a cab for them to go home at midnight. And then I was still there at 3 o'clock in the morning. And at 6 o'clock in the morning, I was at work for a 12-hour shift. And then I would go home and take a little nap, get up, get showered, and start all over again. My weekends were just full. If I wasn't working, I was running around doing something. I was a very big social butterfly. And now today, I don't really even like people.
Right? Amen.
You kind of change. They say that if you're really fun when you're young, you're crabby when you're older. Now, I'm not crabby. I still am one that likes to do fun things and, you know, stuff like that. But I am a little more picky at what I do. Like, I tease Andy all the time and tell him we're going to tie ropes to a horse and turn him into a chariot, you know. I think it sounds fun.
They say similar stuff like that to me at the fire hall.
Well, you know what? Yes, Norma, we're nuts. It's okay. We can be nuts. We're allowed.
And we're proud of it.
That's right. And we are proud of it. Well, I don't know about the rest of you, but I am Gen X. So I'm one of those where I really don't care. I don't care what people think. Nobody else's opinion of me matters. You know, it really doesn't. You like me, you hate me, I don't care. It's up to you. I'm a very good and loyal friend. Oh, Andy, what are you doing? Andy, get in here.
What was that for?
Oh, every now and then he probably playing on Facebook and he puts the wrong button in. He blames it on me. You're muted, Andy, or I can't hear you. Yes, I can't hear you. You're lighting up, but we can't hear you. Go out, come back in. Go out and come back in. Go out, come back in. There he goes. His internet's bouncing back and forth. But yeah, we can do, I don't know. I think if I still had both my legs, I don't think I would have slowed down. I think I still would have been running around doing everything I was doing before. Yep. So, and what do they say? People, because Gen X is the generation that just really doesn't care. We grew up hardcore, really, we did, you know, and we played in the dirt, and we came home, tried to squeak in and not be late when we came home so we didn't get in trouble, get grounded. Like, oh my God, I'm in trouble. I can't, because my mom was like that. You didn't come in 1 minute late. For every minute you were late, you were grounded a day. So I tried not to be late. There was a couple times I came home and I was with some friends of mine, and we were out we went to a garage to go listen to some of our friends play. They were in a band. And I was drinking iced tea the whole time I was there. Well, I didn't realize that iced tea had slow gin in it. And I did not feel it till I stood up. So here I go home, plastered, and I come into the house, and I was smart. my mom would say, "Did you have fun?" "Yeah, I had fun. I'm really tired. I'm going to bed." And I would just go hide in my room. Well, my stupid brother would come home, higher than a kite, and he would get in the refrigerator and start rummaging for munchies, and he would eat things that my mom knew he didn't even like. And she would look at him and say, "You're high, you're grounded." And he knew I was drunk. And he's like, "How do you not get in trouble?" I said, "Because you're stupid. You don't hang around with the parents in the same doggone room when you come home and you're screwed up. You got to be smart about what you're doing. You know, never late, never in trouble." But my brother, now he was not very smart at it at all. He used to do the dumbest things when he came home. I don't know what he was doing when he was out, because I'm telling you, if he was as dumb when he was out doing things as he was when he was at home, oh, Lord have mercy. My siblings, ugh, and a lot of sibling rivalry. He was,
Yeah.
my uncle was at the house with us one day, and I was watching something on TV, and he run over to one side of me and hit my arm. And I'd say, "Stop it." And he'd go over to the other side of the chair and hit my arm. I said, "Knock it off." And he'd come over the other side, do it again, and I just punched him straight in the face, knocked him on the floor. My uncle started laughing, and he's crying, "Did you see what she did to me?" And he said, "She told you to stop. She gave you chances, and you didn't heed the warning, so I don't want to hear you crying. Take your beatings and go on." Yes, that's just enough. So, yeah, it was pretty fun. And then nowadays we have, I don't even know what's going on. These people are afraid. Somewhere down the line, they have had stuff put in their heads that this election is the worst. And I think to myself, all right, people, we just went through 4 years of massive inflation. We just went through 4 years of our towns, our cities, our states being wiped out by hurricanes, being wiped out by tornadoes, being wiped out from this. And yes, and fires. And they can't help us, but they can send $2.6 million to another country to help them.
Billions.
Yes. Billions. And it's sickening. And it needs to stop. And I'm going to tell you, Trump's done some changing from before. He has found some light. And he can be an ass. Yes, he can. But when he was in office the last time, he ran this country like a businessman, not a politician. And that is what we needed. We didn't need somebody to come in here and say, "Okay, well, I'm gonna do what this person says, and this guy in Congress says I should do this, and this one." No, it was his way or the highway. And it's like, yes, Denise, but I don't know where it came from. I don't know if it was my end or Julie's end, because I think everybody else is muted. So it came from either Julie's side or my side, but I did hear
it came here because I heard it in this ear.
Good possibility.
Where's the timestamp of this so we can go back and listen?
Shit if I know. 1 minute and 3 or 1 hour, 3 minutes and 20 seconds, I believe. But I don't understand how nobody has noticed that I went to the grocery store and would spend $160 for a whole month of food. and now it costs me $400 to $500 for the same shit. The same exact stuff. My grocery bill's doubled. Now, I live in Texas. Our gas is not as high as it is in a lot of other places. So when I find out what other people's gas prices are, I'm like, oh my God. How do you afford to even drive your car? I would be having a horse and buggy, and just hay is cheaper than gasoline. So I don't know how nobody sees this stuff. Because
they're focused on other issues. And, you
the
know,
only issue there, you know what I found? I have watched show after show after show after show. And the only issue that I have seen is, well, he was mean and he called somebody fat. Yeah, I know who he called fat, and he wasn't kidding. Okay? It was true. And she was being an ass. So it was true. Or, well, they said he raped this person. Well, let me tell you a little something about that. You should have did your homework. Because she doesn't remember where it happened, what day it happened. Now, I'm going to tell you, I was 5 when that happened to me. And I can tell you exactly where it was. I can tell you exactly what day it was, and I was 5. How does this woman not remember dates, times, exact locations? How does this happen? So here's the setup propaganda.
Credit.
What?
Not to give her any more credit, but trauma can mess with people.
It can, but if you're going to come forward, okay, even the people that were drugged that came forward about Cosby knew details. And there are other aspects of it. So to me, it's like, well, it's like the whole, everything is propaganda.
But it doesn't even really matter, Brenda, because, and I'm not a real political person. I haven't been for the last few years. I've really gotten away from politics. But obviously, you're seeing my colors shine right now and what they are. But that's not even an issue. I mean, like, we're all human, okay? We all really need the same thing, desire the same, some of the same things.
Yes.
But those aren't even issues. And the bigger picture of things, it's piss in the bucket, really. I'm sorry.
The way I put it was the lesser. The way I put it was the lesser of both evils. Okay, but I've known for a long time, our government, they don't like us. They hate us.
Right.
They hate this country. Decades ago, they tried to turn this country into a third world country because it was the strongest country. So they don't like us. They never have. At least.
And earlier you stated, and I totally agree with you, that our dollars, the tax dollars, the taxpayer dollars, need to be taken care of first.
Yep. And they need to
take care of them first.
That's right.
And our programs, how they are not functioning properly because we still have social issues out there that haven't been addressed properly. And if we address those properly, we change our perceptions in this world, especially in how this is supposed to really operate or could potentially operate better. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So, because I'm going through some crap.
Yeah, me too. But, you know, in either case, all we can do is, And that's the problem. People are separated, and that needs to stop. That needs to stop. You know what? I heard people say they went down their Facebook and took off everybody that voted for Trump. I still have people on my, I don't fight with people on Facebook over that. That's childish. Number one, very childish. I mean, if they are harassing you and they are on your page just giving you a shitload of crap, yeah, maybe. But I don't do that on mine. You know, not everybody on my Facebook votes for the party. Some people on my Facebook don't vote at all. You know, so I'm an adult. People on my Facebook, we're adults. You know, everybody needs to start acting like it, because there is so much wrong right now, and people are crying and screaming and getting angry at their family members. I woke up with a message from my cousin, okay, who I haven't talked to in a while. And in this message, she told me that she's done with me. I'm disgraceful and disgusting. And I mean, just laid. And now this is coming from somebody who believes in love and kindness. And that girl said stuff to hurt my feelings bad over political stuff. That doesn't really matter, because I'll tell you what, nobody's elected. They're all selected, and not by us. So to do this, and it didn't hurt my feelings. I kind of laughed at it, actually, because that's what I thought of. Oh, here is a woman who says that, oh, this man is a dictator, and he's mean, and he's awful, and he's hateful, and he's... What was that message? Was that not hateful? So all I did was write back and say, you know, I don't know where this is coming from, and I'm sorry that you feel that way, but you have a nice day. And that's all I could do. Don't drag me through the mud because you're upset over something like this. Put that to good use. And let's turn around and ourselves try to fix this country. Try to make it better. Because you know what? When it comes down to it, think about it. We don't work for those people. They work for us. So it's not them that has to fix this country. It is not up to them to do it. It's up to us. And unity and caring and compassion is what people need. And, you know, there are enough smart people out there who have gone to school for things. We don't have to rely on the government to keep an eye on our tax money. We don't have to rely on the government to make a law. That all should be something that's voted on, that we should all be doing together, not just a small select of people. For real. It should be us that go to Congress, listen to these meetings. It should be us making these decisions for our lives. Not the WHO, not World Economic Forum, not all these other people. Because you know what? They have nothing to do with us, nor have they ever done anything for this country, or probably any other country in the world. So what do we pay them for? Why does our tax money go to somebody who tells us we must eat bugs? I did that when I was a kid. It wasn't very enlightening. So, you know.
You know, Brenda, I always go, you know, imagine, if you will. I'm not Prince, but imagine
Imagine if
we
you will.
come here. We come here and there's nothing here. There's no government. There's no education. There's no nothing. Just people. It's just us.
Yeah. And you know what? We teach ourselves. We
Right.
work together. Look at what's going on in North Carolina. And I really, because after 9/11, we had all that unity and everything was love and everything was, oh my God, help your neighbor. But somewhere down the line, we forgot that.
I forgot
And
what
I
that
hope,
was.
yes. And I hope,
Compassionate conservatism. Is that what that was called at that time?
yes.
Yeah.
And so I hope with what has happened now, again,
Yes.
these disaster, Florida, North
And so
Carolina,
I
Georgia,
What
all
is
that.
happening now?
I hope that these people
Is that Florida, North Carolina?
don't forget again.
I think that these people that Florida, North Carolina,
Yeah. Did you want to feed in there, Brett?
How's that
Do you have the computer and the phone on?
Foxhole Foundation doing?
Yeah, she'll be on tomorrow night. But if you have both the computer and the phone on, turn your
Hang on a
volume.
second.
Turn the volume down on the phone. There we go. We got it. But yeah, that's Nadine, the Foxhole Foundation, and she'll be on tomorrow night. She's going to do a couple of updates. And then in a couple weeks, she's going to come back with a friend of hers named James that lives out there. I'm hoping that Tommy's friend who is out there helping can come on tomorrow night and meet Nadine and kind of get things going in a roundabout because they're all doing stuff in different parts of North Carolina to help. So it breaks my heart that we as people, we the people, that's why we are the people, came here on this earth for love, light, compassion. This planet is really a beautiful place. And so many people have stepped in and damaged it. There are enough of us on this planet that if everybody pitched in and everybody would get on the same page and see that it can be fixed, not by Harris or Trump or anybody else. Elon Musk, these are people that we can hire to help us, but we have to change. We have our other races that are living amongst us that come to this planet. They're afraid of us because they consider us hostile. They consider us, they're afraid of us. And it shouldn't be like that. Because I know somewhere out there, there's a place where there is just joy, happiness, compassion, love. And we're not there yet. We need to be. There's a lot more people opening up to that now. Thank God. But there are a lot of people that need to find that. And
You
instead
know,
of, go ahead.
I'm sorry. I have encountered this myself. I don't think we know how to really come together and like do action steps, action tasks to make this actually happen. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Yeah.
And get that ball rolling. This is how we're going to do it. This is how it works. And there's no violence in it whatsoever. There's no
Right.
hostile takeovers or anything
Right.
nutty like that.
Right.
And there are people that are spiritual that I've seen this, and they're I don't know. It's just we get caught up in the political.
Yeah.
And what this is human.
Yes.
It's
It is.
really a human thing. It's not a political thing. It's a human thing. So
That's right.
that's my 2 cents.
And we have to now. Here's the first step of learning how to come together. First of all, stop calling people conspiracy theorists. Stop that. Because if people were to just sit back for a minute and think, when we say something that sounds bizarre, sit back and think, how is that possible? And look it up. Research it. There cannot be 85% of this frickin' planet that believes in the good and the rest of them can't figure it out. I mean, I'm sure that eventually, maybe in their own time, maybe they're just not meant to figure it out yet. That might be it. But they need to hurry up, because if not, we're going to leave them behind. They're going to be like in their own little stranded island, being upset, crying, arguing, yelling, and screaming at each other because, well, oh, why are we here alone? Well, because the rest of us don't want to put up with your ass. That's why. Because the rest of us are going to care about each other. And you take your little negative self and you run along. And still, division. They need to get on it. Everybody needs to stop this fighting and arguing and this whole racist crap. I have been with Hispanics. I've been with Black people. I have had best friends that were Asian. And you know what? Just because we do not all look the same does not mean we are not the same. Some people act bad because that's the rap they're given. Some people act bad because when they're given that rap, their parents don't teach them any different.
It's choice.
So, yes, everybody has a right to make a choice, but I'm just saying, this planet, this country itself is not going to fix itself. And one man with 6 people on his side's not going to come in here and fix this. It is up to us. We are the ones that have to step up, put our big kid pants on, and start doing what is right. And we need to take control back of our country. We have our God-given rights, and we have our freedoms. Well, maybe not, because it's kind of bad. Jason, that's Patrick driving. He's in his big truck going through Georgia. We're waiting for him to hit Atlanta.
So I got a question.
But
So Like, there's been this whole denial of like craft that exists. And then last year we had disclosure. Okay. Now, my concern, okay, what happened to all those people that were told they were crazy?
We're
Okay,
right
what
here.
happened? Hey, well, yeah, but for over 70 years, people have been like, and we have, all kinds of different things set up in our society that tells us whether we're crazy or not if we believe in something. So,
Yeah.
what happened to all those people? Or what do we
Well,
do now? What's the program now? Because
yeah. I mean, there is nothing wrong with wanting to live in peace and harmony. Okay. And there are there are a great deal of us that see things, that go places, that have those abilities. Okay. We know that there's other things. We've seen other things. Hell, I go traveling all over the frickin' place when I go to sleep. One night, Jack come in here, I wasn't breathing. He thought I was dead. I wasn't here. So we know that there can be peace. But it's not going to happen if people don't start using their own mind and thinking for themselves. Stop watching the damn news. Stop listening to our politicians. Pick yourself up off the ground. Dust your damn self off. Stand up. And put this country back where it belongs. Because this is just not right.
There's this whole thing with the media too, because at one time I wanted to become a journalist. Glad I dodged that bullet, but I dabbled in it, and there was this thing called who, what, where, why, when, and how. Now everything's speculated, and we're watching it 24/7 and speculating and speculate. There's a big difference between speculation, which people are taking as the truth because that's what they're hearing, versus what the true facts are.
And see, the one main thing that is our downfall is fear. And they put fear in these people.
And these speculations that people believe.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Well,
Harp?
and what was it? I think it was 2007 where Obama signed that executive order that it was okay for the news to create propaganda. And it's like one night I'm watching some guy, he's out in the storm and the wind's blowing him all over the place. And he's got his umbrellas folding. But right behind him, these two kids walk through the water like clothes on, nothing moving. So you want to tell me that this guy's getting blown over not even 3 feet from where these kids were walking behind him? That's when you look at that and say, oh, these little bastards. Norma, I don't know. I know that is due, but I think the first thing that's going to come out is that Epstein's list. I really think that's going to be the first thing that is going to get released. Because that is going to be the reasoning why certain people are probably going to jail.
Well, then that's just that's a long string. That's just a can of worms being opened, because that extends to programs, government programs,
Yeah.
royalty. It goes into the whole conspiracy theory stuff,
Yeah. And the
right?
thing of it is our country, this stuff, it is going to take a lot longer than 4 years to clean up this mess that we are in. I will tell you that right now. It is going to take more than 4 years. This place, because our governments and all these families, higher extended families, they have been doing this stuff to us for decades, not years, decades.
Thousands,
Decades.
thousands of years.
Yes. They have been in control. They do things to where they make people think that, oh, well, we'll hold elections. The people can vote for these people. I don't think that we've actually voted for anybody for probably about 50 years where we actually
Forever.
put vote in. Yeah.
Forever. My research took us way back.
Okay. I'm going to explain that. All right. I've been hearing a lot of that too, Norma. Now let me explain. There was one day that Trump was going somewhere and his plane broke down. He had to get back to DC. So he was, I think he was in Florida. And Epstein said, let me get my plane to take you. Anybody that got on Epstein's plane was written down. That plane took him to DC. He's been on that plane, but he never went to the island. Ever. So that's something that has been put on this propaganda crap. Like Russia. So there is so much that comes out of both. And what people don't realize is nowadays, well, not nowadays, but for a while. And you're right, Denise, history repeats itself time after time. But for a while, they have had the technology to be able to voice feed over, video clip. I wish Steve was here already because Steve knows how to do all that. So they do this on both sides. My daughter sent me a clip the other day of something that Trump had said. So I watched it and I was like, wait a minute, I seen this speech. So I seen it live. And I said, hey, there's something wrong with this. And she said, what? I said, well, first of all, they didn't play the whole thing that led up to what he said. And I said, and second of all, that's not the words that came out of his mouth at that particular time either. So these people are getting bad stuff. Now, I'm not going to say that we don't get the propaganda either, because we do. We do. I'm pretty sure that there's been words put in Joe Biden's mouth that he didn't say. I'm not going to sit here and say that that only happens one way. Nope, it happens both. Okay? We are in a simulation, people. We have too many people making too many decisions and playing games, and we're all sitting around twiddling our thumbs, mad at this person, mad at that person, don't like this one, don't like that one. We are being played the fools. Okay? We're being played the fools. So, do we keep playing the fool? Do we keep sitting around watching the place that we were born and raised, the country that we love, to just sit around and just watch it go down the toilet? Nope. Start getting involved in your city council. Start getting involved in all this stuff. We apparently are not going to get invited, so we're just going to have to invite ourselves. We're going to have to be that rude aunt that comes in and says, I'm coming to this dinner because y'all didn't invite me, but I'm here, so I'm gonna go ahead and eat. You know, we just have to be that, because apparently we're not gonna be invited. But we live here. This is our country too. You know, we work and our money pays these people for them, all of them, to abuse us, to make us hate each other. And it's wrong. And all I got to say is there are more of us than there are of them. And we just need to fix it ourselves. We have to. We have to, okay, if Trump is doing the right thing and this is what he wants, he cares about this country, cares about the American people. Well, he can't do this by himself. Or even with a cabinet of people, he can't do it by himself. It's up to us to help. But we can only help if we do it together. Now, I can't go and get boots on the ground. I can't be there because of my situation. But I can do the best that I can right here, or pitching in to help these organizations and foundations, or, you know, stuff like that. It's I donate. Sometimes it's very little, but I hurt too. I don't live off of crap, and it costs me a lot of money to pay for these platforms and to, you know, all that stuff. So, but I do it because I love to try to help the best I can, you know? But that's just the way it should be with everybody. They should do what they can do. Stop doing things to make it harder. Stop sitting on the streets and having a damn fit and kicking your feet like a child in a candy store that his mama said no. Stop it. Just stop it. These political parties are going to do what they're going to do, whether we like it or not. But we can try to make it better. And I think, honestly, I heard Trump say that he would like to push the American people into governing themselves. Govern themselves. Take control of things with a level head. We don't need to have people all the time to do what they're doing, because they only do what they want. They don't give two shits about us. We're just here. We're their money makers. So in all actuality, yeah, we're all slaves. All of us. Every single one of us that work and pay taxes to our government, who doesn't do with our money what they should, we're all slaves. All of us.
Mm.
Yep. And it sucks.
How do we
Because-
get the money focused on us or directed to us and not elsewhere?
Our tax dollar, well, that has to do with being allowed to be going into these Congress meetings when they make these decisions, when they vote on this stuff. That's what I'm saying. They should not be voting on this stuff. It should be us. But here's the problem. I have found in research that most of the wars that are started, you know, I used to think Germany and Russia and China were the problems. till I started researching. And guess what? Our country. Our country is so deep in the BS that it's us. They all get together and they start wars on purpose.
Well,
Do you
yeah,
know?
I know that.
Yeah.
I get
War
that.
pays.
But
War pays them. That's what it is. War pays them. Well, we're going to take $4 trillion from the American people, and we're going to send it to your country. And then you're going to divide it with this country. And then the rest of that money comes back and goes in my pocket. And that's the way they do it. War is money for government.
exactly. Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
not just
It's been
our
that way.
government. Yeah.
Right.
That's why this happens.
Right. But
I am not so sure there would ever be a war if we did not have greedy people running the countries. And I say countries because I know it ain't just ours.
yeah.
But they're
Yeah.
greedy. Everybody needs to be on a level playing field. Everybody needs to not ever want for anything. Everybody. And we have the resources, the money, the brain to be able to do this.
But also the values we teach, there are many in this world that value, having yachts and, jets. And I mean, it's,
Yeah.
Everybody's,
you know what I always say? I wish I would have been born to Amish. I love the way the Amish live.
too.
That is such a, you ask me, the Amish is a hardcore group because I have never seen 6 men get together while the women put food and stuff out and build a big ass barn in one day. Why? Because they work together. They live together. They put their hopes and their dreams into each other. I think the Amish belong on another planet because they are just so different and so proper, and they do it right. And it starts when they're born.
Yeah, that's another thing, Denise, teaching kids. Like, what we're teaching kids, is that really what we should be teaching? I mean,
Nope.
do we teach history anymore? I mean,
Nope.
do we,
And
what
the
do
bad
we
thing
teach?
about it? Yeah, but when we were in school, the history they were teaching us is not right.
Right. Exactly. So,
Yep.
and science changes too. What's been taught in science has changed over the years, has it not?
Yep.
Like,
They don't even teach that stuff anymore. They throw kids in a school with a computer, and the kids are more worried about, should I call my teacher ma'am or sir?
the pronouns are just like ridiculous. I just
Teach these children. That's what your job is for. Put God back in these schools. Put the Pledge of Allegiance back in these schools. That is our country flag. And if you cannot, other countries, oh boy, disrespect China's flag, they kill you. There's no due process. You're just done. Okay? If you cannot have respect for the country that you live in, well, then move out. Go to a different country. And if you think it's easier in a different country, go for it. Go for it.
we'll see you back here in
Yeah, that's right. Because they won't want to be gone for long. So it's, people don't understand. You know, I dated a man one time when I lived in California, and he was Arab. And in their culture, they send people to America to sow their wild oats. Okay. So I'm sitting around his house with his cousin one night, and we were just talking, and he was getting ready to go home to go visit his family. And out of nowhere, I don't know why it popped in my head, I said, Mahar, are you set up for an arranged marriage? And he said, yeah. And I said, okay. I said, what if you wanted to stay here with me instead? And he said, oh, I would love to do that, but my family will disown me if they don't come over here and kill me, yada, yada, yada. That is the way they live in their country. That's the way they are brought up. And that does not change. And if you go to another country and act a fool like you do when you come here, oh, they don't put up with that shit. They don't put up with it. You go to their country, right. Germany. You go to Germany, if you don't get a book and try to figure out what they're saying, they don't change their language to communicate with you. You have to speak their language. And it's like that in a lot of countries. We are a free country. We don't mind having other people from other countries here. But you got to do it legally. That I do agree with. Because there are a lot of people. Huh? What?
I heard the Germans hate us.
Not all of them. I think that they don't like a lot of the things that are allowed here in this country. And then when they go there, they think that it's carried over. So, but that's a lot of countries. A lot of different countries are like that with us, because we are such a free society that, anything goes. So, but we've let it get out of control. All of us. Our governments did it, and we sat back. I remember hearing something that happened one day on the news when I was a kid, and I heard my grandmother say, oh, that stupid government. But that's it. Nothing was done. When you let them get away with a little toenail smudge of something, they take the whole frickin' banana. And that's what's happened. They got away with something small and it worked. Then they got a hold of something a little bit bigger and it worked. And they just kept going until they've gotten to the fact that their heads are so swollen, half of the time they had to build double doors for them to be able to get in the building. So that was our fault, ladies and gentlemen. I hate to tell you. Our government has gotten away with so much crap for so long, and we allowed it. And the things that we go through, and this goes for Republicans, this goes for Democrats, this goes for independent people. The shit we're going through right now is our fault. It's all of our faults. Our parents' faults, our grandparents' faults, everybody. Because we let them get away with an inch and they took the whole frickin' mile and ran with it. That's why I say, the only ones that can fix it is us. Now we can have that one person we can follow. But I'm going to tell you, with everything we've been through, don't get me wrong, I love Trump. I do. His son is awesome. That's my buddy. But at the same time, he knows, with everything that we just went through over the last decades and the last 4 years, he knows that he needs to do right by the people. He has to. Because I think that there are enough of us out there that have had enough of this crap and we're done with it. We want this foolishness to stop. We need him as much as he needs us. Because I'm going to tell you something. He is the strongest and craziest person that is willing to take on the shit that has been going on. Call him as crazy as the rest of us. Something has to happen. He's not sitting around eating ice cream. He's not saying he's not saying he's going to the border and not leaving the damn El Paso airport, 170 miles from the border, because that's what happened when she came here. She never left the airport. So something's got to give. And I hate to say it, it's going to have to be us. And I don't mean in anger. And I don't mean up in arms. And I don't mean hate. The fighting is stupid and ridiculous. What?
We can make requests, right?
We can. We can go to city councils. We can go to the governors of our states. We can do that. We can make enough noise to where we can.
With our representatives, right?
Yes.
With our representatives.
Like
and they
here,
do have to get back to us.
Yes. And like here we have Ken Paxton. And I love Ken Paxton, man. He just gets stuff done. They threw him in a pile of crap. And then he went and proved that they lied about him. And it all came out. And they put him right back where he was. He's a go-getter. He does what he needs to do. We can do that with people. We have people in all of our cities, and our towns even have individual mayors. You know, we can go to them. But it's got to be consistent. It can't be, oh, well, I tried. No. Make a little noise. It's okay to make a little noise. You know, we're the little people. And yes, Denise, I do. I like Tucker. He's crazy. He's crazy like the rest of us. It's okay. You know what? I have come to learn that crazy is probably about as normal as you're going to get. I definitely have I've learned that. And you know what I'm going to do right now? Hang on. I'm going to unmute Patrick. Oh, Patrick, are you still awake?
Still here.
You want to throw anything in there on us?
No, I'm just a listening.
How are we doing?
I'm doing fine.
Okay. How many more miles do you have to go?
200.
Oh, that's not bad. You started out with 400 or something, right?
Yep. 450.
Did you get some sleep today?
Oh, yeah. Got good 8 hours.
God, I went to sleep at 6:30 this morning, y'all. I didn't wake up till 3:30 this afternoon. Literally. I was up all night with Steven. We were backstage and we were just talking about stuff and laughing. And yeah, so we kind of lost track of time. And I looked down and said, oh, you know, I don't know what you're doing, Steve, but I'm going to kick my dogs out the bed and I'm going to bed. But yeah, so we have a big problem here, folks. We have a really big problem. But hopefully things, and it's going to take a long time, like we were talking earlier before the show. It's going to take a while before people start to see any real results. Now, we will see gas prices go down. We'll see groceries go down, which that's something that we'll see regardless. But like Patrick said earlier, behind the scenes, there's a lot of stuff that's going to happen that's not going to really affect us too much, or that we're not going to see.
We're not going to see it probably until after he's out of office, to where it'll start really rolling in. the big changes.
If we can allow him out of office, because good Lord have mercy, with who's going to get in there next? You know, are we going to reverse back to the after trying to fix everything? Are we going to reverse back to falling out again on our faces? And in that respect, I'm going to say I don't think so, because they've already started working on a thing where what I was talking about. Even the president is there, the vice president's there, and everybody is in Congress. And we are allowed to go and vote ourselves on some of these things. You know, probably most of them. I'm telling you guys, Trump wants to push us in the direction to where we can govern ourselves.
So here's something. You know, I was in real estate here in California, and what do you call it? I can't even think of the freaking name. You become a realtor, you're part of the realtor board, right?
Oh, yeah.
So there was something else. But I would get text messages on different issues, okay? And this came from, these sources. And they would say, contact your representative, go sign this petition, okay? And they have a good pull in power in this. Now, if the people were able to do this, because a lot of it was contact your representative and tell them how you feel now, so if we were to do that more often, we might see results, on different topics.
And my thing is don't get online and contact your representative. Don't call and leave a message. Go to the office. Don't go in there sounding like a crazy person. Just go in there with what you want to present to them and present it. You just have to do it that way sometimes. I mean, it's look at a lot of these people that are starting to step up for their kids and go to the school boards. Mm-hmm. They're angry and they want results. We pay the school boards out of our taxes to teach our children, and they're not teaching our children crap. And then people want to homeschool. Okay, you know what? I'm all for that. I have a stepdaughter who is being homeschooled, but she goes and does a lot of her classes at the library. She's doing great. Excellent. Straight A's. She's learning. She wants to be a doctor. And then and she's in high school, and she wants to be a doctor, and she wants to donate some of her time to go to places like third world countries, Africa, to help these people. This is what she wants to do. Good. She has limited time on her computer. She has limited time on her phone. And when she's doing her studies, she's not allowed to have those. And she's learning.
Right. So, we have national standards that are having to be met at the state standards, and then it's all watered down, right? We all have to, be taught these national standards, and you need those to go to college to become that doctor, right? So it's a systematic thing. So, it's looking at the big picture of things and how it's put together, and really what can we do to change this where it's going to work for everyone, because it's obviously not working for everyone.
I do know that the biggest problem is we need to get out of the Rockefeller school systems, because way back then, that's where it got bad. Because the Rockefellers decided They wanted things taught the way they want things taught. Julie, we all have parasites, all of us. Every one of us. Do you know that our doctors are taught in school that parasites are good for us to have because they eat the bad bacteria in our body? And that's a damn lie. We get it from our food. We get it from things that we drink. And pork's the worst. Pork will fill you full of so many parasites that it ain't even funny because they carry their own. And it doesn't leave their bodies. And a lot of them don't die when you cook them. You know? And they're vaccinating our cattle, our pork, our chickens, with all of this stuff. People say, oh, well, I can become a vegetarian. Honey, it don't stop there. Because they are growing our vegetables and our fruits in labs. That's why you get watermelons that have no seeds. You get seedless grapes. That shit don't grow on a vine. They make it that way. And they're genetically doing that. So everything we eat, that's why people always say, pray over your food. Before you eat, pray over your food. Because it's bad for you any way you go. We can't, the only good thing that we grew up on it, so our bodies have kind of adapted. But they want to make it worse. Population control, which is how they do their resets, people. They get rid of the major population. The rest of the population is old. So they end up in a nursing home. They tell everybody the sweetest little stories, and people think that they're crazy. They're not crazy. I learned that in a nursing home. I started listening more to my elderly patients than I did the teachers. And I learned a hell of a lot more. So my daughter told me that she went to college and she got a degree in liberal arts. And she said, Mom, I'm smarter than you. Well, hold on. Because you could have a bachelor's degree in something and still only be able to get a job at McDonald's. I think that schooling is second on a knowledge list. I think common sense is first. And that is something that a lot of people don't have. Growing up on the streets the way we did as kids, we learned more than these people learned from their video games, than they learned from their school books. I mean, but for somebody to say, oh, I'm smarter than you because I got to do, you know what? Everybody wants their children to be smart and get degrees and go to college and grow up and do things, you know? Everybody wants that for their kids. But if they're not using it properly, or they think just because having it and waving it around is going to do them any good, that doesn't make them any smarter than us. All the kids nowadays think that their parents are dumb. You know, my daughter thinks that I must be walking around dragging my knuckles on the ground and still living in a cave bent over full of hair because I'm a, what do they call those? A Neanderthal. I'm so stupid. And that's the way that, you know, I get treated. Does it hurt my feelings? But yeah. But I think to myself, one day she's going to come to me and she's going to say, Mom, what is this? What's going on here? How did this? And I'm going to have to show her how stupid I really am when I sit her down and explain it to her. With common sense.
I'm sorry, Brenda, you're going through that.
It's okay.
You're not alone.
I know. But it's okay. Because, Julie, do you know what I figured out? anything and everything in my life that I went through as a person, as a child, growing up as an adult, it has made me the strong person I am today. I handle more shit than most people know. And I do it with a damn smile on my face. And you know what? I thank Stephen. I thank Stephen so much. Him and I have bonded with this positive relationship. Susie too. You know, they're like my family. And I have learned how to be so joyful because I wake up every day and I'm breathing every day and I'm smiling. And you know, there is no better love than the love that I get from Putin. And I don't mean President Putin, I mean my dog. And he's by my side 24/7. That dog don't leave me for nothing. So I have so much joy now in my life. The people that I meet, you know, you, Denise, Norma, Brett, you guys are my peoples. You know, you're my peoples. And I don't care if this show doesn't have anybody else watching it but you guys. Because you guys are great. And I don't need anybody.
I gotta come over here and feel normal, Brenda.
Huh?
I gotta come over here to feel normal. I gotta come and watch this show just to feel normal.
You know what I found out? I need to get on the show more to feel normal.
Well, maybe that's what you need to do.
Yeah. And you know, it's so funny because like Steven and I will sit up backstage. Girl, I ain't kidding. If y'all can't sleep in the middle of the night, message
You
me.
mean Steve? You mean Steve, the Walmart Steve guy?
Yeah.
Is that who you're talking about?
Yeah.
Okay. I
Yeah,
was like,
we
who is this Steven person?
If you cannot sleep in the middle of the night, message me. Because more than likely, that's where we are. And I'll send you a link. Come in. We sit on this doggone thing for 9 hours a night. We cannot sleep. And we laugh and we talk about all kinds of cool shit. The other night he found these DVDs of polka music. And we were just laughing. We were laughing, playing that, and then
Was it Lawrence Welk?
huh? Yeah,
Was it Lawrence Welk?
No, I don't remember. Oh, one of them was like Weird Al Yankovic's dad. Okay. And then we found this Christmas DVD, and it was called like something like an awful Christmas. And the first song was Somebody Stole My Santa Suit. You know? So, I mean, that's what we do. We sit back. We have no sense when we sit back there. We just talk about the loopiest crap, and we get to laugh.
So what time is this? What time do you all meet?
Oh my God! Anytime, like during the
I
show,
wanna come like
after
one
the
time at
show.
least.
Yeah, I'm telling you, we just sit on here. Andy will sit with us. We had Patrick with us until he finally got to his destination last night for a while, keeping him awake. He was just sitting there listening to us gabba, 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 you know, just like he is now. But we had Andy with us. Andy cuts off.
That's gotta be it.
But we
Is
were up
he
all night.
going- Is
Huh?
that Atlanta? Is Pat in Atlanta right now? Because there's some traffic there.
Patrick, you getting into Atlanta?
I'm out of Atlanta now, outskirts.
Oh. Now you just got a whole bunch of
That's why I
foolish people. You know what I noticed, guys? And sorry if
It's
anybody
11
here is
o'clock.
from Georgia, but we were driving down the road the other day, and at the end of my street we have a yield sign. and there's a 4-way light, and we have a yield sign. And the light going this way was red. This guy's just sitting at the yield sign. We almost ran up his butt side. Nobody comment. And I look at the license plate, and it said Georgia. I called Glenn. I said, hey, I know you sent your friends down here from Georgia, but they don't know how to damn drive. Call them up, tell them get the hell out of here. Sitting at a yield sign with nobody coming. I said, wow, I thought that people here had a problem driving, because here, because it's a military town, they come from everywhere. Okay. So sometimes we get the worst of the drivers here. Yeah. Just sitting there at a yield sign, and we're like, hello. Yeah. I did. I called Glenn while we were going on. We were on our way to Walmart. I'm like, you need to call your peoples and tell them to go back home.
Like he knows them, right?
Yeah. You know, what the hell? Just thought I would do it. Yeah. So I have found just, you know, I love Susie, you know, Tommy, Steve, Andy, Patrick, y'all, you know, I mean, it's just so, it's so good to have a place and have people that you can just talk about things with. You can cry to, you can laugh to, you know, all that stuff. It's awesome, because there's not a lot of that around. So I look at it like this, you know, I found my people. I ain't going nowhere. You know, there are times like this week I was trying to get a guest, and Susie had one she was setting me up with, but she didn't get quite everything down and back to me. And I did message her on Messenger and say, hey, but I never got a response. So I went ahead and just booked doing this show, and then Nadine tomorrow. And I want to get this person in here. And I was thinking, okay, well, if we can get her to come on, we'd have her come on, you know, the maybe a second half of the show. But I didn't get a chance to tell Susie that, because she said, I'm going to get a hold of her real quick, and hung up. And I was like, oh, wait a minute. So, but I want to get her on here, because she was one that was in with she was in a foster home. She was passed around in foster home, and was part of that whole thing. But I've been trying to do some other different things too with the show, because sometimes, I'm going to tell you, I love doing the SSP and the survivor programs, because it is something that has got to be told, because this stuff is happening, and it's still happening today. All of the government programs, all of this stuff, it's still happening. And these people have to be heard. But I don't want to do them all the time in just those, because I want to do things sometimes a little lighter, you know, sometimes giggle a little bit and laugh. Get out of being so serious all the time. It has felt so good to my soul. And I've had to cut a few people from my life because of things. Because there is nobody that is going to take care of you as well as you take care of yourself. So sometimes you have to do things to help yourself. So I kind of been cutting back a little bit on those. I still want to do them because they are interesting topics. People do learn a lot from them, but I don't want to do them all the time every weekend. I want to switch them up a little bit. This has been good. We've had a real good conversation. We hit on politics and slapped them around a little bit.
You made me talk about politics. Oh,
holy crap. Who's next to you, Patrick? Tell him to scoot over. Uh-oh.
No,
Yeah, He's got that
No one wants
sensor.
to do the speed limit, so
He's got that sensor when the cars get too close to him. It does that. And if he
doing
gets too
60
close
and a
to him,
70. So
yeah, it'll automatically apply his brakes. I mean, that might be cool and all. I don't like that because when I'm driving, I like to have total control. But then again, you know, I am a Capricorn and I'm a control type woman. So I could not relinquish the control of my vehicle to a computer. I have a hard time with that. That would scare
You're
the living
Capricorn?
shit out of me. Huh? Yes. I'm an early Capricorn, January 9th.
Yeah.
And you know, it's funny because Steve is a Capricorn.
31 minutes of delay. We're at
Usually male and female Capricorns don't get along. You bump heads a lot because you're both dominant species, okay? But him and I get along great. So we have a really good friendship. And it surprises the heck out of both of us. But yeah, the ones we don't need to be in relationships with especially are Aries. Aries are kind of rough.
Yeah, I got Capricorn in my life.
Oh, really?
My grand-
Norma's daughter is January 19th.
I had my step grandfather was 1-1, my brother's 1-5, and my dad's 1-19.
Oh, wow.
And I'm a
Well,
Virgo.
you were surrounded by them, weren't you?
Hell yeah, I had no chance.
Yeah.
Actually,
You're like,
yeah.
I was
Isn't
born
119 like on the cusp of Aquarius too?
Yeah, I think it is. I think it's like that. And Norma's dog is 1-1, and my dog is 12-12.
Ooh.
Putin's angel numbers.
Ooh.
That's why he's my little angel.
I got nines.
Yeah.
I show up at nines. I'm 9969. 9969.
Yeah.
It's
I'm
nines.
I'm 1967. I had somebody do my thing and they said that my 1967 were actually all real good numbers.
You're older than me? I thought you were younger than me.
1967. Yeah. I am the youngest old bitch you'd ever meet in your life.
And a Capricorn to boot.
Yeah, and a Capricorn to boot.
So what you got going on tomorrow, Brenda?
Tomorrow, I have got Nadine coming back, which is awesome. Norma said I'm still a baby. Kinda. Although I've gotten rid of that wet behind my ears, though. I don't know where that went. But tomorrow I've got Nadine coming on. She's going to give us some updates on North Carolina. And I have to get with Tommy tonight whenever he wakes up or gets home. Because he's got a friend that is also in North Carolina that's from there. And he has had a lot of stuff going on. And he's doing fundraisers also to get heaters for everybody. And I think they're going to put those heaters in those little tiny homes that the Amish people are down there helping them build. And then Susie, we had Will's down there right now helping. Got his chainsaw and he's down there going to help them with wood and stuff. So yeah, there's lots of people helping. I wish I could go. I used to do search and rescue a long time ago, and I used to go and help do stuff, and I just can't do that anymore, but I do the best I can to help them put the word out and, you know, so things can get done. Because it doesn't matter you know, what kind of people are out there or what they may have even been into. It doesn't matter all over the world. It doesn't matter. You know, the people in Palestine that have had to go what they've went through. We're all people. We all bleed the same blood, whether we're from here or we're from somewhere else, you know? So everybody needs help sometimes, you know? Everybody needs the help. And in one way or another, somebody can always be a help. Always. So I do have something scheduled for Tuesday. I'm not sure what exactly is going to happen, but I am trying to put some stuff together for a show for them. I want to get Sean Vaughn to come back because when he was on the show last time, his reception was horrible. So I'm going to try to do that and get him on here again. I'm working on some things. Everybody's been doing so many podcasts, and some people have told me that they're just burned out on it. Mark too, he's another one, but we're going to have to wait about a month to get Mark on. I was hoping him and I would do a show for for the election, because I just love talking politics with Mark, and he makes it so fun. So I was hoping, but he's dealing with some stuff with his family, and he's really busy for about the next month. So hopefully after that, maybe we can get him on, and we can bring up some things. And by then, we should have, in a month, we should have at least some updates on some silly shit that's either going to happen or fun stuff that's going to happen. So either way, we'll have some kind of a show. Mark's always fun. But that is what we're going to do. And I am 22 minutes late on ending this show. So, I know. I told Steve that last night. We should just hit the live button and just been sitting there goofing off online with everybody, you know, just because this is the middle of the night and we were bored and had nothing better to do. But I wanted to take my teeth out because my gums hurt, and I don't like to go live with no teeth. So it's like I would have been sitting here all night going, yeah, and then they're new, and then we did this. So no.
Okay, I had a fantastic time. Thanks for having me and letting me tell stories tonight, Brenda. I appreciate it, and
I always
and
like
making
having
me
you on, Julie.
feel a part of your familia.
The familia.
Watch out.
I know,
Part
right?
of the familia.
Yeah. It's been great. Oh, I messaged Glenn earlier and asked him if he had a show tonight because I was going to tell him to come in here and talk to us. And he just now got back to me. I'm going to tell him he's a day late and message him, Andy. Tell him he's a day late and $1 short, I said.
No, I'll let you do that.
And inches, and inches too.
That's definitely on you.
But anyways, guys, thank you, Brett, for coming on and telling us your story that your mom told you. And everybody, we are going to be out of here. Join us back again tomorrow night. And like always, everybody, please be kind to one another. And I'll see you tomorrow. Have a good night.
Goodbye for now, from Beyond the Box.
Please join us again for Beyond the Box, Friday and Saturday evenings, from 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. Central, 10 p.m. to midnight Eastern. Join us for more intel bombs from our extraordinary guests.
Good night, Putin. Good night, Tucker.